is every bet I placed at UFC 321. First off, here's every fight that I am not betting for various reasons, starting with Chris Barnett taking on Hamdi Abdelhawab. I just think this is heavyweight slop. I have Chris Barnett picked. No apparent reason behind that. I just cannot parlay or bet Hamdi at minus 500. The guy's got no finishing upside, according to my eyes. Jose Delgado, Nathaniel Wood. I think this is a very high-level matchup. I think it goes to decision at a high clip. Nathaniel Wood is the decision king. I think Jose Delgado can possibly chin Nathaniel Wood. I have Jose Delgado picked to win, but I don't really feel like parlaying him, and I don't feel like laying the chalk on him against a UFC veteran like Nathaniel Wood. Mateusz Rebecki, Ludovic Klein. Another fight where I do have the underdog picked. I have Mateusz Rebecki to win by decision, but I can definitely see Ludovic Klein chinning him, and if Rebecki's takedowns don't work, he's probably cooked. So I'm not really confident enough to bet any of these fights. First fight I do have a bet on, though, is Walter Walker taking on Louis Sutherland, and in this one, I simply think Louis Sutherland is going to be another round one heel hook victim from Walter. He's on a 3-fight heel hook round one submission streak. Give me Walter Walker by sub as the pick, and we're going to go ahead and throw 1 unit on Walter Walker to win by sub, plus 125. I have been concerned because I see people on Twitter telling me Walter Walker says he's going to be going for the KO. Do not bet his sub prop. But I don't see how else he wins. Is he really going to ground and pound Louis Sutherland? I doubt it. If Walter Walker doesn't get takedowns, he's going to dive on the leg and win by submission very easily. So very simple path to victory for Walter. I think he does it. Next fight we got to bet on is Alexander Rakic taking on Azamat Murzakanov. And I went back and forth on this fight, but ultimately I think Azamat is going to clean the clock of Alexander Rakic. Rakic can't keep getting away with holding you up against the cage and firing naked leg kicks. At one point or another, Azamat will find Rakic's chin. I think he will wobble him, and I think he will finish him. So I'm going with Azamat Murzakanov by KO as the pick. And for the bet, we got 1.08 units on Murzakanov moneyline, minus 105. This dude is an undefeated Russian, and Rakic is on a 3-fight losing streak. That should be enough to pick and bet Murzakanov. Next fight we got to bet on is Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Mario Batista, and you don't got to hear me say it a million times this week. I just think the line is way too wide. I think Mario Batista can employ his own takedowns if he needs to, and I think Mario Batista can keep it even enough on the feet where if it hits the scorecards, he's going to have a very supreme chance to win. So Mario Batista by decision is the pick, and we have 0.48 units on Mario Batista moneyline plus 440. I just think plus 440 is an outrageous betting line for Mario Batista on an 8-fight winning streak. The guy's 10-2 in the UFC. He knows how to win fights. Umar's coming off his first career loss. Wouldn't be surprised if he drops 2 in a row. Yes, it's in Abu Dhabi. Yes, Abu Dhabi judging could be a factor in this for Umar to win if it's close. But if that's the theory, if it's going to be that close, I'll take plus 440. Next fight we got to bet on is Verna Jandiroba taking on Mackenzie Dern. Once again, like I said earlier, this is a rematch. And in the first one, Mackenzie Dern won 29-28. And I just think that when you win the first fight, if you rematch that same person, more often than not, you don't really go back to the drawing board. I mean, you won the first fight. Why do you need to rewatch that? Why do you need to train harder? You won the first fight. Verna Jandiroba, on the other hand, I think she did go back to the drawing board after that Mackenzie Dern loss. She's been going way more all in on takedowns lately in her fights, and I think if Verna goes all in on takedowns in this fight, it will do her wonders. Mackenzie Dern, you know, supreme jiu-jitsu black belt. She could probably submit Verna if she could, but I think Verna's wrestling and control is going to be too much. So enough yap. I got Verna Jandiroba by decision as the pick. I got 1 unit on Jandiroba moneyline as the bet. Once again, if this stays standing, Mackenzie Dern can slightly edge out those moments. I think Verna can land something big. She nearly KO'd Dern in their first fight with a big knee, busted up Dern's face in the second round. So Verna can possibly land something big on the feet. Verna can go for takedowns, and it'll probably be free. And I think Verna can win more minutes in this fight. I got Verna by decision. Next fight we got to bet on is the main event. Tom Aspinall taking on Cyril Gane. And in this one, if there's one outcome I think will not happen at all, is Ciryl Gane getting knocked out. I do not see that happening whatsoever. I understand Tom Aspinall, most of his wins are by knockout. Most of his wins are by early knockout, round 1 or even round 2 knockout. But in this one specifically, I think Ciryl Gane's durability striking-wise is top tier, world class. He's not going to get hit with a big shot by Aspinall, in my opinion. So with all that being said, I'm not saying Ciryl Gane will win. I just don't think he'll get KO'd. And if that's the case, I got Tom Aspinall by decision as the pick. I didn't have the balls to actually bet Tom Aspinall decision on the prop. Instead, I put 1.08 units on Tom Aspinall to win by submission or decision. You can get that for plus 200. So basically, if you're with me and you think Tom Aspinall wins, nice. You can bet his money line, minus 400. But if you want to take it a step further and you also agree that Gane's not getting KO'd here, you can do Aspinall by submission or decision, plus 200. I love those odds. And if you want to take it even one step further, Tom Aspinall by decision, plus 1,200. So everyone's taking Tom Aspinall sub this week. I'm on the decision train. Why not, just meet in the middle? Let's take both. And of course, we got some parlays. Starting with parlay number 1, the first leg is going to be Jacqueline Amarim by submission or decision. I'm in love with this prop this week, submission or decision. A lot of fights on the card I can see ending by submission or decision in favor of the favorite fighter. So Jacqueline Amarim, prime example. I don't think she's going to ground and pound Mizuki. I think this is going to be a 15-minute control fest, whether it be in the clinch, whether it be on the ground. Don't think Amarim's going to KO her, so give me her by sub or decision. And leg number 2 that we're parlaying that with is another sub or decision prop. Azat Maxim by sub or decision, minus 220. I love those odds. I sincerely doubt that Maxim is going to KO Mitch Raposo, and at this point, he's minus 500. I don't know how Mitch Raposo wins, first off. And secondly, I don't see Mitch Raposo getting KO'd. So I can see Azat Maxim having tons of grappling success. Mitch Raposo does have a submission loss to Jake Hadley. That was on the Contender Series. And Mitch Raposo is just not very good, in my opinion. I think Azat Maxim actually is a UFC-level fighter. Didn't get taken down once by Tiggy Ulanbekov. I doubt Mitch Raposo will land a takedown. And if you look at Maxim's record, his last 8 or 9 fights have ended with him winning either by submission or decision. So, love this. I put a unit on it, minus 106. I put a 30% profit boost on Draftkings. So, actually, I got it at plus 125. You're welcome. And we got parlay number 2, starting with the first leg. Ikram Aliskerov on the money line. I just don't see a path to victory for Jung Young Park. Maybe if he outlasts Ikram in the first round, maybe he'll have better cardio than Ikram as the fight progresses. Maybe he can mix in takedowns. A lot of maybes. But the only definites I know is Ikram's going to have more power in this fight, and I just think he's going to be the better striker, and I think this fight plays out on the feet for a majority of it, so it should be a no-brainer. Ikram on the money line. We're parlaying him with Daddy Jailton. That is correct. Minus 192. I think this is going to be a free money fight for Jailton Almeida. He's going to get the takedowns. He's going to either submit or KO Volkov on the ground, whether it be with the rear naked choke, whether it be with elbows, ground and pound. This is Jailton's fight to lose. Volkov has been taken down in the past. He is not some, ironclad defense merchant. He will get taken down, and once that happens, Jailton will most likely find the finish. So if you want to take this one step further, I got Ikram by KO, Jailton by sub. You can do that, but you can play it safe like I am, quote-unquote safe. It's betting, it's gambling after all. I don't know if it's safe, but one unit at plus 113, I like it. Parlay number 3. Here we go. This is the last one. As you've noticed, there's a little bit of a theme with each parlay. The first one was sub or decision. The second one was my favorite money lines. The third one is going to be fights to go the distance. First up, Nasrat and Quillan goes the distance, minus 176. I think this thing should be like minus 300. I do not envision a world where Quillan can KO or submit Nasrat, and I certainly don't see a world where Nasrat KOs Quillan. Nasrat's not submitting them whatsoever, so the only finish upside for either is Nasrat KO, which his last KO I think was Jamie Malarkey. He's not KOing Quillan. Or Quillan by KO or sub, And I don't see that outcome happening either. I do have Quillan to win by decision, so if you want to bet Quillan instead, you can do that. I don't hate that play. And we're parlaying it with another fight to go to distance. I'll let you guys think for a second. What other fight do you think will go to distance on this card? That's basically a lock. Well, you got Rebecca and Ludovic Klein. I was debating that, so shout out to you if you were thinking that. But we're going Umar and Mario to go the distance. Minus 235. You throw a unit on this, you get it at plus 113. I love this parlay. I don't think Umar's going to find a finish on Mario. I know at the press conference, Dana's like, hey, you'll get the title shot if you finish him. And Umar's like, all right, bet. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you just get finishing ability because Dana White tells you to go and get a finish. I sincerely doubt that's how it works. Neither guy is really getting finished here. I don't see it. Umar possibly can find it, sure, but I don't think so. Plus 113, give me that. In the Finz Hammerlock, this is my weekly most confident underdog pick, and if you've been paying attention, if you've been following along, we are 26 and 53. So, you know, not the worst, not the best. Keep in mind, it's always plus money, so being 26 and 53 isn't that bad. We are down on it, sure, but it's not as bad as you think when everything is huge plus money. And this week, we're going with the only underdog I actually have a straight unit bet on. That is going to be Verna Jandiroba, plus 126 currently on FanDuel. I sniped her at plus 130. She was plus 140 earlier in the week. And like I said earlier, I think she just goes out there, has wrestling success, and just wins by decision. This is another fight where I think it could go the distance. So if you want to cook up a go-to-distance parlay, I wouldn't mind this fight being in there. I wouldn't mind the Rebecca fight being in there. I think we see a lot of decisions. I think we see a lot of submissions this week. And I think Verna is another one that could win by sub or decision. So I like this play a lot. We did lose last week. Actually, no, we won last week. Bruno Silva. What am I saying? Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, what am I saying? We won last week. We had Bruno Silva. We have won 2 of our last 3 weeks. So we're actually starting the streak again. We might be on to something. Let's go with Verna. And, of course, before you go, here's my insane long shot of the card. I actually posted this on Twitter earlier in the week, so you're not going to get the same odds as I did because I am a market mover. This is going to be a crazy one that can actually hit, has a high chance. Here we go. Walter Walker by round 1 sub. I mean, that's what he's been doing. Literally 3 fights in a row, round 1 sub. I don't know what else to tell you. Jailton Almeida, round 1 sub. If he gets the takedowns, that's hitting immediately. Like, snap of the finger. Like, insanely quick. And then Tom Aspinall, round 1 sub. That is the longest long shot of the 3 long shots that I got here. $6 wins 1,100. My theory is, I don't think Tom Aspinall really wants to entertain the striking with Cyril Gane for too long, and I think he might get hit with something. I think he might not be able to find the range, and he says, F this, I'm going for a takedown, and wins by sub. I mean, I have him to win by decision, I know, but this is the alternate method, and I kind of like it. Now I have a decent long shot for you. I know I always give you the insane ones, but this one I think smacks with 100% certainty. I don't say that often, but let's get it. Azat Maxim by sub or decision. That has to smack. That has to smack. There's no way that's not hitting. Mitch Raposo's not winning. Azat's not winning by KO. That is smacking. Nasrat and Quillan goes the distance. That has to hit. I don't see a finish happening from either guy. Mario and Umar goes the distance. Wow, so I got minus 235, and I also have minus 195. So people have been steaming that line. And then, of course, we're going to end it with a nice prop. Tom Aspinall by sub or decision, plus 220. 25 wins you 330. Basically, you can 10x your money if you tail this parlay. Whatever you put on at 5, you win 50. 10, you win 100. I put 25. I'm winning 330 because I used a profit boost. I think every leg hits. And if we get to the last leg and the first 3 have cashed, easy hedge. You just bet on Cyril Gane money line because Tom Aspinall is not winning by KO. I'm telling you guys, he's not winning by KO. So the hedge is Cyril Gane money line. I think we're smacking this week, okay? I think we're going up mega piles.